All right, it's media day. We are talking 405A Division II, and we have Todd Dodge with us from Lovejoy High School. First of all, welcome to the Metroplex. Welcome back to the Metroplex is what I should say. It's not. It's kind of cool for the Lovejoy kids to have a new coach, but the whole Metroplex to have you back, ready to coach for as long as you feel like coaching here is a great plus. I'm sure you've heard from God knows how many coaches since you said you're going to take the job. But what's the overall feeling about being back?
Ward, I'm absolutely loving it. It's a place that I've kind of had my eye on and kind of admired from afar for a long time. I say a long time. It's only 18 years old.
Right.
I think my last year coaching at uh, at South Lake was the first year of the existence of this school and this school district as it sits now. Um, but I knew after my time at Westlake, I had planned on retiring after 8 years. Um, why that was a magical number, I don't know, but I know that it ended it on a high note with a three-peat, and I was glad to welcome in retirement at the time. I was really able to enjoy um, the success that we had and just sit back and relax for a couple years, and after those 2 years, knew that I wanted to coach again, and so Lovejoy is a place. It's a one high school town. It's in the Dallas Fort Worth area, which we knew we wanted to get back to because of family. Um, I've got five grandchildren here in this area. My son Riley at South Lake, my daughter Molly here in the area. Elizabeth's mom lives here. Her sister, my brother-in-law. So it fit, and I've been here. It's almost to the day. It's been 3 months, and it's been absolutely wonderful. I've enjoyed every minute of it. We started spring ball um, yesterday morning. We've had two practices, and it's going really well.
I was going to ask you. We talked about this off camera. What's it like as a new coach in a new area at your first couple of days of spring ball? What do you kind of look for? Are you just looking at an overview, or are you looking for specific players?
Well, we have been here long enough that I was able to take about 3 weeks and really delve into getting to know the seniors to be, and then evaluate coaches and evaluate players in off season, and really watch them move. Um, and then just get the one thing I told these group of seniors, there's 40 seniors to be for next year, and I promised them that I would learn their names in 2 weeks.
All right.
All right, and so I did. Well, I had to get to know them to learn their names, and so that's part of the deal is building relationships. Um, I think it's always important when you start into something that you all really are passionate about that, and that it's an emotional game that you try to trust each other as much as you can. Well, I don't know if you fully can trust each other until you've been through some hard times together. Well, I hope we can trust each other before that comes. And so those are just the little things there. But um, I was able to evaluate really returning snaps, if that makes sense. How many, like offensive line, you know, how many returning starts do we have in the offensive line? Well, that's probably a strength of ours. How many returning starts do I have at quarterback? That would be zero. How many returning starts do I have at running back? Zero. How many starts do I have at returning at linebacker and at safety? Quite a few. So probably the strengths of my team as I go through that, and then I watch these kids move around. I go, yeah, that looks like a 5A Texas high school football player that started 24 high school football games. And then from there, you just start to build depth. So one of the things that was a little bit, it wasn't eye opening. I knew it, but I'm coming from Austin Westlake, where my enrollment was 2,800 students, to Lovejoy, where it's about 1,600 students. So I'm dealing with 1,200 less students, and that's 800 less, or 600 less boys. So from a depth situation, you have to look at it with, okay, I'm going to probably have a varsity team of somewhere between 55 and 60 players. I don't need to train everybody both sides of the ball, but I do need to train some of them. And that's really the biggest thing that I've been doing and my coach staff been doing is figuring out where everybody fits going in spring ball. And then what 12 players, that's kind of the magical number for us, what 12 players are going to be double trained. And we have a pretty good hold on that right now. And that's just going to build depth for us.
You mentioned not being able to go through hard times. You want to learn what you got before you go through hard times. In a 9-team district, which almost all the 5A Division II are 9 teams, it seems like you only got the 2 non-district games. How much is that a detriment for you to get to know the players, to know that, by week 3 you're in the district and you guys start winning games?
I don't think it's a detriment. I think it's a motivation. The Dallas Morning News right after realignment came out with a beautiful article that said they called this 5A Division II that we're in the new District of Doom. And I don't know anything about that, but they said it. They cover football here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Well, there must be some pretty good teams in there, and I definitely know that there are. But to me, that just you're able to kind of put that in front, dangle that in front of your team in the off season, and then you go out and you make some non-district arrangements. Well, I found out real quickly when I was researching this job that Lovejoy has not been a place that gets to play easy non-district games.
No.
And it's definitely not going to be that way now. We open up with Lubbock Cooper, and then we play Highland Park week 2. And last time I saw Highland Park, they were playing my son's team in the 3rd round of the playoffs in 6A football.
That's right.
So, and then you talk about just going from north to south. You got Denison, which is one of the great football traditions here in our state. Anna won a state championship 4A. Melissa. Really, really good mixture of athletes. You got Walnut Grove. Everybody's telling me they got some beautiful children over there, and only their first year, but got a lot of them to choose from. And then you got Frisco Emerson and the rest of the Frisco schools. So it will be a deal where you're not going to be able to tiptoe into that cold creek, so to speak. Come the start of the season, you're going to have to hit it on the run.
Right. And you personally, you're going to have you're not just a regular name. You're not an up and coming coach that's taking a job like, we don't know much about him. He doesn't really know about, this is his first job. We'll be aware of him, but we're just going to, these coaches are going to have to game plan for what they know you do, as well as you game plan for them. And also on the flip side, you've been at South Lake, you've been at 6A level in Austin. This is a 5A level. These are teams you probably I'm sure you've never faced Anna or Melissa, or definitely not Emerson, because they just started up a while ago. So these are all new teams that you have to kind of devise your plan for. Is it more of a game planning for them,
right,
or making sure that you guys play your game plan?
Well, when it comes to the time, just those 3 that you mentioned, Melissa, Emerson, and Anna, I think all 3 of those come in the last 5 games of our season. So one good thing about that, and I'm not for sure on that, but I think it's pretty close, is that we will know a little bit more about ourselves at that time. The one thing is we're going to do what we do on offense, but there are certain I'm not one of those guys that says, by gosh, this is my offense. We're going to run it come hell or high water. We're going to make these kids, run it just like we did at Westlake. 85% of it's going to be spot on. The other 15% of it is probably going to be very specific to these kids here and what we do best.
I appreciate you joining with me, Coach. Man, I go back to spring ball, get to know your players, and we're going to see you down the stretch for sure. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks. Go Leopards. Appreciate you.